Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. You know, I'm coming, it appears, every morning early. And I know sometimes people are saying, why don't you get out the robe? But I do that. But I have to come to you when I have to come to you. And like this morning, I have to come to you. I have to come to you because, ladies and gentlemen, there's pain that's caused by ignorance. And it's ignorance that's perpetrated by the people. We, the people, are ignorant to the truth of life, and we are being guided by wisdom that is as destructive as can possibly be. For instance, let's look at the United States House of Representatives. Now, every one of those representatives, they supposedly represent different parts of the country. And each of them know that they themselves require certain things, especially of those things that I consider and want you to consider as basic human rights. I'm sure none of us asked, as far as we know, to come on this plane. But we're here. And being here, just as it takes your organs, your heart, your kidneys, your liver, and all of those things in order for you to health, have the health to exist. It also takes food, and it takes shelter, and it takes education. It takes healthcare to maintain that survival as well. You see, the part about the heart, the part about the arteries, the part about the liver, that was the responsibility of the creator. That was the responsibility of the maker to provide, and it has been provided. Now, as far as the food and clothing and shelter and education, that has been provided. The materials, resources that are necessary to do any of those things, that has been provided by the same power that made us, that made the basic human rights requirement and set things forth, that all we have to do is exercise our power of when, how much, where, and all of that. That's our responsibility. Every last one of these representatives in Congress, they themselves embrace this idea. No one wants to be without it. They want to be free. They want to be in peace. They want to be happy. And they want their dreams to come true. Their needs, their wants, and their desires. Every person in the House of Representatives requires it, want it. I ain't gonna say it requires it, but they want it. They live for it. And yet, as you see them, as we, the American people, see them, can't get their act together for one reason or another, something has to do with somebody else, what they can get. Every last one of them want what I just mentioned. But now when it comes down to who gets, that's where the problem comes in. You want to cut out, some representatives for their people want to cut out something for others, want to demand something from others. They want to abuse the system. Abuse, what I mean, take advantage of it. Get from it what you want at the expense of others and not care. And they're walking around in the House of Representatives like a chicken with their head cut off. Bucket, a bucket, a bucket, a bucket, a bucket. Trying to see, is there anybody out there who with any kind of sight? Is there anybody out there who can help us in any kind of way? Our way. You see what I'm saying? Our way. And our way has nothing to do with your way because we are at odds with one another. You see how you got the Democrats supporting only that of the Democrats, Republicans supporting only that of Republicans, and then those with problems within that. And we the people, we're the recipients of the representation of this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, I feel the pain, and I don't mind telling you. I tell the people that live on the streets, the people who are homeless. I tell them, if you live where you got a center of power, whether it's your mayor, whether it's your governor, wherever it is, if you don't have a place to stay, crowd up around their houses. Just crowd up, pitch your tent right up in their front yard. Pitch your tent in their backyard. May show up every dead blasted day. They say they can represent what they're doing a poor representation because here you are, they're homeless. Here you are, that can't get education. Here you are, that can't get your health care, can't get health care. And they supposed to represent you. Well, see, this is what's happening across the nation. So, ladies and gentlemen, as spokesman and advocate for basic human rights for all people, I have been setting it up for over these 40 years, trying to put enough information out there about what it means to be free, to connect us with what we can't see as being most powerful because we are because of that. And inviting you. And all over these years, I know I've been doing a lot of talking and some walking, not enough walking, but some. And you, my friends, are dealing with what I'm saying to you, which I'm sure you get very little of, and you're not really receptive to it because everything else seems to be so gigantic in relationship. But this, my friends, is saying to you, I'm asking you, in the name of righteousness, that's what I call it, because nobody comes out suffering except anybody who wants to be God over another. I want to beg you, but I can't beg, not for this, because this is you. I'm saying, why don't we as people in America change? And let's do those kinds of things that we want to work for us. And that is to make sure that you, others, are not against us because you are as protected as any of us. This is what I want to see. I want to see every American smiling. I don't want them to have to worry about anything because as much as the resources are available and we have the dream, we definitely have the aspiration, and we have the audacity and do and create abundance. And let us show that a different way of living. Somebody would say, now you're going to call it socialism. I say to you, ladies and gentlemen, you can stand up and say democracy is as fantastic as you want to say. You can say that socialism is as ugly as you want to say. But I tell you, say what you want to say. When you look at democracy, do you see that fantasticness? Do you see everybody benefiting as basic human rights require in your democracy? Of course not. Do you see it in socialism? Of course not. But what do you see? A difference, I'm sure. And what is the difference? You got more people taken care of than you do anywhere else. Now, I'm not talking about democracy. I'm not talking about socialism. I'm talking about what's right. I'm talking about how to achieve that. And I'm inviting you, the people of America, to stand up on your feet. You people talk about picking yourself up by your own bootstraps. I'm talking about standing up for what's right and have no shame in your game. You know it's right that everybody can eat. So what's the problem? You support policies. You support that which makes that possible. And in all of the other areas as well. That's what you support. Because a world where that is being denied to some, and we as people have justified it, come on. We know that. That's the House of Representatives currently. But let's get this house in order. I'm asking you, ladies and gentlemen, let us make a change. Let us change the way we do stuff. I don't care what you think about this country. I don't care how wonderful you think it is. It's not wonderful enough until it works for all of us. I was just thinking before I go. There is a hunger, I think, for a certain amount of segregation. There are people who don't want to live amongst others. And they got that right. What I'm basically saying, that white people want to live over here, and black people want to live over here. Fine. And then there are those where everybody want to live together. Great. And everyone, I just named 3 different groups. Every last one of them got the same right of life as everyone else. And in order for them to have that life as everyone else, they have to do those same things if they were all one, so they can act in unison with one another with that same goal. Now, I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, are you going to keep on walking down this path that's leading us straight to hell? That's how all this stuff started happening. Well, it's been happening all along, but it came to a point. Now, it's really to a point. All of us can see it. We see where we're going. I say, recognize it, admit it, and change. Thank you.